Okay, a moment ago I said Western Drive, but I meant West Clif, of course. And that's where we are, and here we go. Okay, so on the right here is the footpath, which typically is a great place to come, to run, to walk. But we try to keep bicycles off of it because the foot traffic is really high. These houses are all worth vast amounts of money, but at the same time, the cliff edge is constantly falling off into the ocean. And so, you know, it's pretty dicey to build a house right here. We know that sooner or later it's got to go into the sea. This is a great day for this, nice and clear. It is a bit hazy over in Monterey. You can barely see the mountains of Monterey on the other side of the bay. But no fog. Usually this is covered with fog in the mornings, and then it burns off in the afternoon. This typical summer pattern. There are ways to get down to the rocks, play in the tide pools. There's various little patch beaches around here. Some of them are clothing optional. It's just one of the great pieces of tourist attraction for the town. Parking is always a problem. And here's a person who is now completely blocking me. Where they're going to hit me. Okay, this is what's left of. This was a very famous house. It was the only house that was on the west side of West Clif. And we knew that it wouldn't last forever, and so now it looks like they're finally taking it apart. It's been used in, back when it was a good-looking house, it was used in many Hollywood movies for its location among these cypress trees. I used to walk back and forth this route back when I lived in town long ago, 40 years ago, more than that. And the local Aikido group that I belonged to would come out here during winter training and run as a group back and forth along this trail. Special winter training for Aikido is called Kangeko. the seagulls and the kelp. Back in the 70s, when I was with the university scuba program, we used to come out here and train students to crawl through those kelp beds and not get tangled up. And then the research divers would be out in the kelp bed with a very boring job where you have to go up and down the kelp strands underwater counting the snails and other things. A whole lot of marine biology is boring counting stuff. So this is Friday afternoon. Summer, crowd's light. Usually there's a pretty good number of people, but seems light today. And as I said, the cliffs, these rocks are constantly eroding and making formations. Okay, so we're coming up on one of Santa Cruz's most famous local monuments. This is Lighthouse Point. This lighthouse was built by the parents of a surfing guy famous surfing guy who died here long ago. It'll take just a second, as there's no graceful way to get down there. I suppose there's a reasonably graceful way. Folks come to surf here and they literally carry their boards out there and jump off the cliff into the water. Contrary to the no diving or jumping postings, obviously. Or you can get down to the beach